He's worked for 37 years in a family company that began from their home kitchen making tocino, longanisa, and siopao. Now in its 50th year, he's helping harness the next generation to continue on the legacy, focusing on innovation, modernization, and deepening social impact. With us some thought leaders, the president and CEO of CDO Foodsphere, Jerome Ong. Good to see you, Jerome, and welcome to the program.
Hi, Cathy. Good to see you too. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're most welcome. And we're right smack into the Burr months, where we're just a few weeks away from Christmas.
Yes.
It's the busiest time for a food company as yourself. How's it looking?
That's correct. We're at our busiest time now. We started preparing for our Christmas rush, for our Christmas activities, and we're just so excited to roll out our products in the supermarkets, in the stores, ready for the Noche Buena shopping of the Filipino families.
What's the Noche Buena tradition then? Which of your products gets sold well? And what rolls out in that Christmas rush?
Yeah. Of course, no Noche Buena feast would be complete without Christmas ham. And good thing we have our flagship product, our CDO holiday ham, and we're excited to see it at the center of the Christmas table. And aside from our holiday ham, we do have other types of Christmas ham to fit almost every budget. Then aside from our hams, we also have our queso de bola or cheese ball under the Danes brand. So it's our 1-2 combination during Christmas season. Of course, apart from our other products that also sell quite well during Christmas. Most hot dogs, other types of hams and bacon and other products also sell more during Christmas season. Yeah.
But how is inflation looking? Because when I ask economic managers, they tell us that the range is still well below the 2 to 4% target range.
Okay.
It's below 2%, so that's
Okay.
pretty good. But when you go to the markets, you talk to the consumers there,
Yes.
they feel like their money is buying them less.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Uh, I think uh, I think the consumers still feel the pinch of the 4 to 5, 6% inflation level, and we also felt that because at that time, the cost of our materials also went up. In fact, at that time, uh, our cost increased by more than 10 to 12%, but we had to temper our price increases, our price adjustments, so that to make it easier for the consumer. So I think there was a time in 2022, 2023 that we had to increase by about 3 to 5% every year because of high inflation, high cost. And the consumers felt that, and that was experienced across many items, many commodities, especially food. So it's a welcome development that it's now. I didn't check, but I believe last time it was 1.8 or 2%.
1.7%.
1.7%. I think that's a very good level, and that is why we are also maintaining our prices, and in fact have even reduced the prices for some of our Christmas products and some of our year-round items to not just to spur demand, but to make it affordable, to make our products affordable for the Filipino consumers.
When you mentioned inflation was in double digits, is that the pandemic inflation and the
Oh.
cumulative inflation that's now
Okay.
still working its way through the system? So
Okay.
that's still something that you think consumers are feeling.
Actually, during the pandemic, our costs only increased marginally. That was because of the supply chain challenges brought about by the pandemic when movements were restricted. But what affected us more was when Russia invaded Ukraine back in early 2022, I believe, because at that time, major commodities, uh, both countries being very large agricultural economies, uh, that tension affected supply and prices of of crops that are used as animal feeds, okay, such as soya, wheat, and it also threatened even the petroleum supply out of the Middle East. So that way, petroleum price went up also. As I recall, even interest rates also went up. Interest rates, so all of that combined put pressure on our costs. So that happened in 2022 to 2023 when we the cumulative increase over that 2-year period was about 12 to 13%, yeah, about 5 to 6% every year. But our actual cost increase during that 2-year period reached about 18-20%. So you can see we just had to absorb a big portion of it just so that we keep people employed, we keep demand healthy. So fortunately, we were able to. I think the effort, that sacrifice paid off because eventually we were able to tide it over when the whole situation stabilized.
So we can safely say that the cost of the holiday ham, the queso de bola cheese will remain the same this Christmas because
Um,
for the past 2 years there have been increases of at least 5%.
um, the increase maybe on a cumulative basis, past 2 years, 2023 and 2024, maybe 5 to 6%, but on an annual basis, maybe about 3%. Uh, this year, we have a less than 1% increase on our hams, but on the most affordable variants, we are retaining our old prices. Whatever our price were in 2024, we are retaining it. Yeah, that's for our value hams. It's called the American ham. So we're keeping prices the same. Yeah.
What are you seeing in terms of your consumer? How are they changing? And given that they're still saying they're feeling inflation,
Mhm.
even as it's already slowed,
Yeah.
they feel like a lot less can be bought with the money they have. What are
Yeah.
you seeing from your end and your market research?
Yeah, well, our market research shows that consumers have become smarter. They have become more discerning. They've become wiser buyers. Uh, they they want quality. They want nutrition, but it has to be at an affordable level. So that is a continuing challenge for us to innovate. That's why our R&D efforts, the efforts of our R&D team, our market research team, our marketing group, it's a non-stop collaboration to try to look for the best value for consumers, to try to be ahead. What's the next thing that consumers may be looking for? But through it all, we must be attentive of the price points, the price levels that consumers are willing to pay. Yeah, so that's how we are handling it. So, and of course, consumers are not all the same. Um, for the more constrained buyers, those on the lower social economic classes, uh, we do have brands. You don't see them as much in the supermarkets, but they're in the wet markets in the provinces. We have value brands that are designed, that were developed for them. And then we also have our mid-market brands, and we have our mass premium brands. Our mass premium brands include that fantastic tocino, that San Marino brand of tuna products, the Highlands corned beef. We have a mid-price range and we have a premium range of Highlands. We have our Danes cheese. The queso de bola is part of that line. So yes, and this is a very discriminating segment of the market. Uh, they want quality, but it has to be at a reasonable price. Yeah.
So what has that meant for your profit margins then? Has it been tighter than in previous years?
Well, to be honest, if we just keep on doing what we're doing, our profits will erode every year
Because
because costs are going up faster than we can adjust or that we would like to adjust our prices. So but the good thing is that keeps us on our toes. That pushes us to keep on innovating. That pushes us to keep on reviewing our cost of operation at the manufacturing side, at the supply chain. Being an archipelago, it is very expensive to distribute products across the country, uh, especially frozen products. So it's more expensive to maintain a cold chain distribution. So we have to be very efficient in doing so. Uh, we put a lot of science into our forecasting systems. We try our best to maximize truckloads, container loads, and we manage schedules. We try to synchronize schedules to bring down our distribution costs across the country. We are also we have already embraced digitalization. We are employing AI both in our manufacturing. We are embarking on major investments in automating our plants, and we are also employing AI and machine learning in our back room, in our offices, and that is not to replace people, but to allow people to do their job better. And yeah, that's what we do
has it
for us to
Mhm.
manage our costs. Yeah.
has it meant maybe retraining or more of letting go of staff who probably are not so accepting or maybe not willing to work with AI? Have you encountered that kind of staff?
We do, yeah, we do encounter resistance, of course. There are instances that people are apprehensive that it might slowly take away their jobs, but it's important that our vision, that we communicate our vision, to our team, to our people. We tell them it's not management, it's not your managers that demand us to be better. It's the market around us, it's the environment that's asking us to be better. Because the market does not forgive. If we do not compete, if we do not uh, improve, and someone else keeps on improving, the market decides. It's the consumer, it's the market that decides to bring his wallet elsewhere, spend it on some other brand instead of ours. So we tell them, so we either, survive, we do what we can to survive, or lose it all. Then, there'll be greater damage for everyone. And most people understand, fortunately. Most people understand.
How
Yeah.
do you use AI on a day to day yourself?
Oh,
If you
okay.
do use AI, apart from the forecasting,
Well, aside from people using ChatGPT, uh, hopefully responsibly, uh, there are software and there are robotics in place in different parts of our of finance, in supply chain, even in sales, uh, that take care of um, tedious, repetitious tasks, what we call low cognitive roles. So it's AI that takes care of that, and then the people are redeployed to roles that enables them to think and analyze. So it actually opens avenues for growth for our people. So in most cases, when uh, when we begin to need less people in certain roles, in certain processes, we're able to move them to roles where they can be where they can function better or contribute more.
So you haven't had to let go of jobs.
So far, yes, there's natural attrition, and then there's growth. We always need more people to do more and more work. So AI and machine learning and automation, overall, over the past 5 years, has allowed us to hire less instead of hiring more. But we never really had to let go of people in general.
And in
Yeah.
general, hiring less, what did that mean for productivity? Do you have statistics to show that it also increased productivity?
Oh yes, yes, certainly. Uh, even before we started our digitalization efforts, we always aim for efficiency, productivity improvement every year across the operation. So when we started to go digital, then our productivity improvement goals, we had to raise the bar, so to speak.
How
Yeah.
have you raised the bar for yourself as CEO
Uh,
using AI?
well, I I'm a dinosaur, Kathy. I like to see myself as a cheerleader, cheering on our people, encouraging them to to be more accepting, to embrace these changes because it is what's good for everyone. So I consider myself the cheerleader for everyone, and really allow them elbow room to explore all these technology for the good of the company.
So you're
Yeah.
not going to try AI or try to let the process of work on a day-to-day basis change
Well,
for yourself with
uh,
the help of AI.
well, I, I I use Chat GPT. I use Chat GPT to guide me, to help me do more things simultaneously, from from scheduling to designing things, to to try to validate a forecast. It has helped me. It has helped me significantly also. If that can be considered, an adaptation of
Of
AI.
course it can. So
Yeah.
you're not a dinosaur at all.
Oh, okay.
But it
Then
must
maybe
have
not.
been interesting throughout the year. For the most part of 2025, it really had been the Trump tariffs that have
Oh,
become the most challenging
yeah.
risk that
Okay.
cannot be put in any kind of model,
Yes.
AI it or not, so unpredictable. What
Yeah.
were the conversations like? Because you do import some raw materials
Yes.
from the US and we're
Okay.
faced with 19% tariffs as it stands.
Yeah.
Where do you stand there now?
When word got out that U.S. President Trump was imposing tariffs on imports from practically every country, we got worried also. Not because we export a lot to the U.S. We do export, but very little. But because as a company and as like most manufacturers, we are net importers. Okay, we import meat from the U.S. and different parts of North America, uh, but it has always the Philippines has always set a tariff. There's always a 30 to 40% duties on pork or chicken. But it's not just for US pork and poultry. It's for pork and poultry from all countries. Okay. But what worried us was its impact, Trump tariff impact on the Philippine economy in general. But I think being a largely domestic consumption economy, I think we're not so adversely affected. Um, we I think our imports to the sorry, our exports to the U.S. are not as big as exports by other countries to the U.S. And I believe the 19% duties that Trump imposed on Philippine products is lower than what was slapped on other countries. And I don't, and I think it's not even been finalized.
So
Uh,
you hadn't been charged 19% tariffs for
uh,
the pork and chicken imports that
um,
come from the US. It's still status quo as we speak.
uh, the our imports of pork and poultry from the U.S. Uh, the Philippines has always taxed it or has imposed a tariff of 30 to
30 to
40%.
40%. So that's still ongoing as
That
we
is still
speak.
ongoing. That's remained status quo,
Mm.
and I think that's one reason why the U.S. would not reduce the 19% tariff. I think given a choice, Philippines would like to bring it down to 0 to 10%. But because the Philippines insists on maintaining 30 to 40% duties on pork and poultry from the US does not want to reduce the 19%. But they have not been as hard on the Philippines because they know that we have set, the Philippines has set that duty rate among all countries, not just, there's no favoritism. It's applied equally to all countries that export pork and
So it's
poultry to the
still
Philippines.
wait and see. 19%, we haven't felt that yet.
Yeah.
But as a business
Mhm.
and within the board, what have you planned ahead for maybe the worst case scenario when that comes through and those 30 to 40% import tariffs are down,
Okay.
19% pushes in?
Okay.
What happens next? Where do you go next in terms of getting your supply,
Okay.
making sure that you get to continue selling and
Okay.
not be disrupted?
We realized that contingency planning has become more important. Mainly, we cannot depend on any single country, whether it's for export or for import. We have to balance our sources. We have to spread the risk, and that is why, well, we're not really a big, as I said, we're not a big exporter of our own products as a company. But when it comes to imports of raw materials, we import from many countries. For pork and chicken, we import from the U.S., but we import more from Canada. We also import from Brazil. We also buy from different European countries. So uh, the more and more we learn to buy or to depend less on the US. Yeah.
So that's a strategy moving forward, is to diversify.
Yes,
But you
that's
are
right.
present in export markets. I've noted that you export to Australia,
Mm-hmm.
Japan,
Yes.
Qatar, Saudi
Yeah.
Arabia,
Yeah.
UAE.
Yes.
Not
Yeah.
quite so in the US, maybe a little bit. But
Yeah.
in the markets that you do, very interesting. It's a halal market that
Yes, that's
you're
right.
actually
Yes.
working with.
Yeah.
What kind of a market then appreciates products that are Philippine products
Uh-huh.
for Filipino tastes
Yes.
sold in the international market?
Yeah. We export largely to Filipino communities abroad. Uh, Most of our products are still, Philippine delicacies that our kababayans, that our countrymen abroad kind of miss. That's why the Middle East is our biggest export market, and they do allow, uh, you know, uh, you know, for the beef and chicken products has to be, of course, halal certified, even if it's meant for the Filipino communities. Uh, but there's one country, the UAE, United Arab Emirates, that even allows pork products. They have supermarkets that have non-Muslim sections where they allow pork products. So that's where most of our exports go. Then we also export to Singapore, to Hong Kong for our kababayans there. Then we also export to Australia. Uh, when it comes to Australia, uh, US, and Canada, currently we can only export fish products, not our meat products, because of strict meat quarantine or animal quarantine rules. If we decide to have our meat products in North America or in Australia, we have to find a toll manufacturing partner there. Has to be produced there, carrying our brand. But if it's produced here in the Philippines at the moment, unfortunately, we cannot do that.
And your plans are to expand and build here, or are there plans
Uh,
to build a manufacturing plant overseas?
we consider that also. It's on the horizon, but there are still a lot of opportunities here in the domestic market. Currently, our products are in 6 out of 10 Filipino households here in the Philippines. Our goal is to bring our products to 9 out of 10 Filipino households in the next 5 years. And to do that, we must expand, which we have started already. We are expanding our footprint in the provincial Luzon areas and more so in the Visayas and Mindanao regions. So we see a lot of low-hanging fruit, even just here in the Philippines. Expanding our portfolio or entering new businesses that will complement our existing businesses to serve our 114 million Filipinos here.
What sort of new businesses are you looking to be acquisitive, to grow,
Uh,
or more organic?
uh, it can be a combination of both. It's a combination. It will always be a combination of acquisition and organic growth. Uh, and though we've historically we're a rather conservative company, we've always grown organically. We realize that to expand faster, to grow faster, we also have to be open to acquisitions, or to get into the game faster. Yes.
So what's in the pipeline? 6 to 9 products in every household. That's quite a jump. Adding 3 more products
Mhm.
in every Philippine household.
Well, that that requires uh, more aggressive distribution efforts. Uh, we're taking stock of our current logistics capabilities. Uh, we see that we can be present in that we have to uh, put up more distribution centers. Uh, we are open to manufacturing outside of Luzon, because right now uh, our 2 plants are both here in Luzon, one in Valenzuela, uh, here in Metro Manila, and one in Malvar, Batangas. So uh, it looks like we need to set up base in the Visayas or in Mindanao, either or both. But even before that, simply expanding our distribution reach will help us reach more homes. Instead of 6 out of 10, to get to 9 out of 10 homes in 5 years' time. And of course, developing offerings, developing products that cater more to the local taste preferences.
So what sort of local tastes then? What have you found in your research that'll
Mhm.
really work to increase the number of products in every home in these regions?
Well, research has shown that there are many areas that are very regionalistic, especially in the Visayas area and parts of Mindanao, that uh, either that the product either has to be made there, or really has to that we really have to match or to meet their taste preference. Uh, that's why, just like different viands, we're not into that. But think of think of our iconic adobo. Everywhere you go, different parts of the country, adobo tastes differently because different localities, different regions uh, have different preferences for adobo. Same thing for our longanisas, for our tocino. We have to have something for different regions. And of course, we cannot have a dozen different kinds of tocino because that would be very inefficient. But we through research and through R&D, we try to look for that sweet spot so that we have just the right number of so that our assortment does not become unmanageable. Yeah.
So it's creating another variant of maybe tocino
Yes.
for the Visayas
Yes.
region, for Mindanao.
Yes.
That's thinkable. So you're
Yeah.
adding more products but different variants.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, could be a spicier version here. It could be a more lean version for this market, something like that. So in general, that's how we approach trying to be more precise in meeting consumer preferences. We employ a lot of research to find out what the consumers really look for, or what they might be looking for.
And what about for the health conscious, the Gen
Okay.
Zs, millennials? This
Yes.
is very important to them.
Okay.
How
Yeah.
are you addressing that need for the
Okay.
young
Yeah.
ones?
Yeah. We Of course, we always think about the growing younger generation, the Gen Zs and the millennials. That's why we have our healthier range. Some of our meat products have less fat or less salt options, and we also have our San Marino line, our San Marino canned marine line, which of course is healthier because it's made from it's either tuna or sardines. So we have something for the more health conscious consumers, especially the younger ones. Yeah.
Interesting to have seen Mom Cora
Okay.
go up the stage on your 50th anniversary last June.
Yes.
And she did make a mention of the past as
Yeah.
well as the future, and innovation is one of them. Apart from that, more of the social impact that she wanted to make.
Yes. Yeah.
How are you moving forward with that, considering that she's still very much involved? She's vice chair of the
Yes.
company, so
Yes.
you're the second generation,
That's correct.
and you're already mentoring the third.
Yes, yes, that's right. Yeah. Um, CSR, social responsibility, is something that's very close to our hearts, especially our founder, my mom, Jerome Ong. Uh, she founded Odyssey Foundation 21 years ago, back in 2004, to start giving back in a more formal and organized way to reach more communities when it comes to nourishing the undernourished, uh, to educate or help educate those who need. It also, another advocacy of Odyssey Foundation is to help take care of the environment also. So it actually has four important pillars, our Odyssey Foundation. And uh, at one time, I was president of Odyssey Foundation. Currently, it's headed by my brother Jason. He's now president of Odyssey Foundation. And at one time, it was Charmaine who headed it. And uh, aside from looking after the needs of the less fortunate communities, we work very closely with our host communities, uh, doing our share in educating the neighborhood, or sometimes the municipality, in terms of taking care of the environment, leading river cleanup drives, leading tree planting programs. Aside from, of course, we really started with feeding programs. I don't have exact numbers now, but over the past 21 years, we have served millions of meals to to undernourished children. But we stepped up even further during the pandemic when, after realizing the uncertainty that it brought to the world, to the country, and to ourselves as a company, we said this is the time for us to step up. And our battle cry was that nobody will be left behind. And we were referring to our own people. We were referring to the communities around us. So uh, we uh, no, we embarked on many things at that time. We procured, you know, PPEs for distribution when there were shortages here and there. We were part of the very first private sector-led initiative to procure vaccines. We worked with Go Negosyo, with Joey Concepcion. We were one of the first companies who signed up, so that we didn't know when government's vaccines were coming. So we said, let's not wait for that. Let us procure and make sure that when it arrives, our people will be the first to be vaccinated together with their families. We we produced Charmaine led this effort, this Million Meats program, uh, where uh, we produced 1 million cans of meatloaf to be distributed initially to frontliners, to the most exposed, the most vulnerable frontliners during the pandemic, and to communities that needed it. So, and not to mention, of course, the many LGUs needed ayuda. Many LGUs needed food packs. So we were running our plants non-stop to produce canned goods, so that they can be distributed by the different LGUs, by the different provinces and municipalities for their people who were out of job at that time. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, and if I may add, I think all our efforts paid off. Thankfully, we did not suffer a single casualty during the pandemic, even as we operated at full throttle. So, yeah, so that was one experience of a lifetime, really. Yeah.
And also a lesson in sustainability and how important it is to take care of others
Yes.
so the business takes care of itself. Now that you're expanding and sustainability being very much a part of it, what are you now intending to do to ensure that the plants that you're operating now are also environmentally safe and
Okay.
sound?
Yeah.
As there have been instances in the past where you've been called out for maybe wastewater facility
Mhm.
that didn't quite um, uh, come up to the level that the government would want it for the community.
Yeah, there were one or two instances in the past where, when we were called out by the DNR that time. I think this is times like that for us are an opportunity to step up and to revisit, to tighten our processes. So right now, we're happy to say that our plants are totally compliant in terms of our effluent discharge, wastewater, and also when it comes to it comes to the air quality with our air emissions. So we're very, even our noise pollution levels, we manage that. We we adhere. We adhere very strictly to government set standards. We work very closely with the regulatory authorities. I like to say that we've now become much more proactive than before, so that we can anticipate problems before they happen, and that we become an even more responsible, company in the communities where we are. And on top of that, uh, more and more our plants are running on cleaner energy. Yeah, uh, I'm happy to say that practically all uh, roof areas of our plants, where possible, and that's almost all of it, are now, we have solar panels installed. So we now source, energy from the sun for roughly 20 to 25% of our power needs, and then the rest of our energy, our electricity, uh, as much as possible, uh, we specify uh, energy or electricity from renewable sources. Yeah, because when dealing with the RES, with the retail electricity suppliers, you can specify if you prefer clean energy. You can specify. Yeah.
Trump tariffs aside, the other big concern that came up this year happens to touch on governance issues with government, which is now affecting markets,
Oh.
investor sentiment.
Mhm.
How is it impacting the way you see business going forward? I know that you're expanding well into the new year and maybe the next few 5, 10 years.
Yes.
How is that now, and the conversations happening within the board
Yeah.
on what to do next, given all the uncertainty right now that might affect the consumer?
Yes. Yeah. Well, it is quite concerning. While many people are aware that corruption has been there for some time, the level of corruption that has been uncovered recently, is staggering, and it is disappointing to say the least. And I'm sure uh, many are observing, investors, ordinary folks alike are closely watching, are anxiously waiting. What will the government do to curb this? Uh, Perhaps important measures would be, important indicators would be, if a big portion of all that reportedly stolen funds would be returned, if the alleged culprits will be put behind bars, if they will be prosecuted, if moving forward, will there be a more transparent government procurement system that will greatly lessen, if not totally eradicate, such level of corruption? Because I'm sure the world is watching. The world is watching. I don't know. I am sure those in government who truly care for our country would be concerned and would try to do something to turn around the situation, and help address one or more of those indicators that I mentioned a while ago. Yeah, it's deeply concerning. Yes, it is.
In the meantime, would you be on a wait and see before you pursue your expansion plan?
Um, we uh, we decided to be cautiously optimistic, Kathy. We are still optimistic, but we have our contingencies in place, and we're not doubling down as much as we would like to. Uh, but being or being in an industry, or being in an environment where our products are for the mass market, and these are food products, people will continue to eat, and we have to continue expanding our capacity to meet the growing food consumption needs of Filipinos. Um, what's the per capita GDP looking like now? It's it was at $4,100 before the pandemic. Then it went below. Then it's now back to 4,100. I think when things get better and it hits 4,500 to 5,000, uh, along with other positive factors like more affordable rice and a more vibrant economy in general, I think consumption will grow even further. Per capita consumption of protein, of meat products will go up. And we have to be there when it happens. So we cannot totally hold back. And we've and we have not stopped being optimistic. We remain hopeful, but cautious at the same time. Yeah.
And the consumer that you're serving is intact. It's still very robust. The mass market,
Yes.
they
Yeah.
haven't slowed in their spending. You don't see that.
So far, yes. We're still growing. Depending on the category, we're still growing either high single digit or low double digit, which is which is I think, yeah, which is about almost double, which is almost double our GDP growth. So I think it's a good sign. Yeah, I think it's a good sign. Yes.
All the best and happy holidays,
Oh,
Jerome.
yeah.
I hope you get some rest in this
Yeah.
very busy time
Yeah.
of the year for CDO.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Cathy. Again,
Appreciate
thank
it.
you for this
You're most
opportunity.
welcome.
Yeah.
Catch us again next Thursday, 9 p.m. Philippine Standard Time on One News. You can also check out the long conversation on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. And if you haven't done so, like or follow my social media pages. I'm Cathy Yang. This is Thought Leaders.